Barry Gibb was born on September 1st, 1946, in a modest home where life was simple but love ran deep. His father, Hugh, a drummer, spent long hours working, while his mother, Barbra, nurtured the family with gentle care and attention to every small detail. The Gibb household was never lavish, but it was full of warmth, laughter, and resilience. Barry learned early that life was less about material comfort and more about the strength and love found within a family. From the kitchen table to the living room, where coins were counted carefully and evenings were filled with music and conversation, he absorbed lessons in persistence, patience, and the quiet determination that would come to define his life. Even at a young age, Barry discovered the power of sound, the rhythm of his father's drums, the melodies he hummed quietly, and the harmonies he shared with his brothers, Robin and Maurice. Music was more than entertainment. It was a lifeline, a way to bind the family together, and a language in which Barry could express himself when words alone weren't enough. Childhood harmony. As a child, Barry's world was defined by motion and adaptability. The family moved often, searching for stability in Manchester, yet it never quite stayed in place. Through these shifts, music became a constant. At the piano, around the kitchen table, or during small family performances, Barry and his brothers began experimenting with voices and melodies. Even before fame, the siblings were learning to listen to each other, to harmonize, and to support one another through song. These early rituals laid the foundation for the Bee Gees, teaching Barry that music was not just a craft, but a vessel for connection, perseverance, and hope. The home, though simple, was rich in these invisible treasures, lessons in love, patience, and the commitment required to create something lasting together. First steps on stage. By the mid-1950s, Barry was taking the lead in a small local group called the Rattlesnakes, performing songs by Buddy Holly and the Everly Brothers. They sang not for fame, but for joy and to contribute to the household in any way they could. Barry's earliest performances were less about the lights or applause and more about practice, craft, and the small victories of performing for a real audience, even if that audience was a local fair or a family gathering. In those moments, he learned about perseverance, the satisfaction of mastering an instrument, and the quiet magic of shared music. Mistakes were part of the process, and even when a guitar string broke mid-performance, Barry and his brothers pressed on, discovering resilience and creativity in the face of imperfection, migration, and new beginnings. In 1958, the Gibb family made a bold move, boarding the Fair Sea under assisted migration to Australia. Life in Redcliffe was a fresh start, but it was far from easy. Barry and his brothers sang wherever they could, from local events to car races, learning to capture attention with little more than talent and determination. Music became survival, and survival became music. Barry's teenage years were shaped by choices that prioritized creativity over convention. While his peers focused on school, he devoted himself to songwriting, filling notebooks with melodies and lyrics that would one day resonate across the world. Every rejection and small contract became a lesson in patience and dedication, reinforcing his understanding that persistence, even in the quietest moments, often precedes recognition. First recognition and London calling. By 1966, Barry's perseverance began to bear fruit. Recognized for his songwriting as much as his singing, he started to attract attention in the music industry. When London called in 1967, it marked a pivotal moment. The Bee Gees were no longer just a local act. They were emerging as a global phenomenon. Early hits like New York Mining Disaster 1941 and Massachusetts showcased their ability to transform personal emotion into songs that resonated universally. Fame arrived quickly, yet Barry maintained his focus on music itself, understanding that recognition was a privilege, but also a responsibility. These years taught him balance, how to embrace success without losing sight of the roots from which it grew, family, music, and the shared creativity that defined the brothers' bond. Family bonds and creative tensions. The Bee Gees' rise was not without internal challenges. Creative differences occasionally surfaced, and Barry explored solo work at times, testing boundaries and discovering his own voice within and outside the family. These moments of tension were not fractures, but opportunities for growth, allowing him and his brothers to reflect, reconcile, and emerge with deeper understanding. Heartbreak, solitude, and reflection all found their way into the music, giving the songs a depth that connected with listeners around the world. Barry learned that family and music were inseparable. Both required patience, forgiveness, and the willingness to listen and adapt. Reinvention in Miami. By the early 1970s, Barry's career took a transformative turn in Miami. Working with producer Arif Mardin, he discovered a falsetto that would define a generation, and the Bee Gees' sound evolved into something new and iconic. Hits like Jive Talkin' and Nights on Broadway set the stage, but it was the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever that immortalized them. Barry's voice, once a quiet expression of family and home, now carried through arenas and living rooms worldwide. The songs were more than entertainment. They were shared experiences, cultural touchstones, and a testament to what dedication and creative reinvention could achieve. Despite global fame, Barry never allowed recognition to overshadow the music itself, remaining devoted to craft and emotional resonance over spectacle. Songwriting and creative legacy. Beyond the Bee Gees, Barry's songwriting touched countless artists. He penned classics for Barbra Streisand, Dionne Warwick, Kenny Rogers, and Dolly Parton, maintaining a quiet discipline and humility even as his influence expanded. His falsetto, celebrated by fans and critics alike, became a tool for storytelling and emotional connection, and he continued to create through shifts in public taste. His work exemplified the idea that true artistry is measured not by headlines, but by the impact of songs that endure, inspire, and resonate across generations. Love, family, and stability. Throughout his life, Barry found grounding in love and family. His marriage to Linda Gray in 1970 became a cornerstone of stability, offering laughter, care, and guidance amid the pressures of fame. Linda's support was subtle but profound, reminding Barry that a life of meaning relies not only on success, but on the loyalty, love, and daily choices made within a family. From these roots came the ability to balance career demands with the nurturing of relationships that mattered most. His family remained his anchor, offering a reminder that music, while powerful, was most impactful when paired with compassion, consistency, and love. Loss and resilience. Barry's journey has also been marked by loss, from the passing of his father to the deaths of his brothers Andy and Maurice. Each moment of absence reshaped his perspective, emphasizing that endurance is not about avoiding grief, but living fully and meaningfully despite it. These experiences deepened his music, giving it a resonance rooted in human vulnerability and strength. Loss became a teacher, reinforcing the value of family, connection, and the quiet acts of care that sustain a life beyond the stage. Legacy and enduring inspiration. Today, Barry Gibb continues to write, sing, and inspire. He honors the voices of his brothers, the lessons of his parents, and the love of his family through music and through everyday life. Each melody is a testament to survival, devotion, and creativity. His story reminds us that legacy is not only measured in fame or fortune, but in love, loyalty, resilience, and the courage to keep creating. Barry remains a witness to decades of musical history, a man who carried his family's bond, hardships, and joys into the songs that continue to resonate worldwide. A life remembered. When listeners hear a Bee Gees song today, they are hearing more than music. They are hearing a life shaped by love, perseverance, and enduring human connection. Barry Gibb's story is not about perfection or privilege, but about endurance, devotion, and the quiet artistry of a life fully lived. He teaches that music can heal, love can sustain, and resilience can create beauty that lasts long beyond the applause. Every note, harmony, and lyric is a celebration of the family, experiences, and dedication that define him, not only as a performer, but as a human being whose life exemplifies the power of persistence, connection, and heart.